Hello friends, and welcome to your extended daily tarot reading where we are covering the energies of Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Monday is a public holiday here in South Africa, which means that I will be taking the day off. So I thought I would include it in our extended weekend forecast. So we're looking at 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And to do that, I'm going to work with these two amazing decks. These are animal-centered decks. I have the familiar Field Oracle, and I have the Meraki Tarot. So the Meraki Tarot, oh, the artwork is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's get straight into it and see what are the energies of the next 4 days. What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What is the kind of theme that we're all going to be navigating over the next 4 days? And for those of you who don't have Monday off, who are working on Monday, you know what, we'll just understand that it's an extension of the weekend energetically for you, but you'll just make it applicable to your work scenario. So let's have a look. I'm looking for, from this deck, a theme for the next 4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, 13, 14, 15 and 16 of December 2024. Right, let's cut the deck. And I decide I need two. That was an impromptu one, right? I can't pick them up. Let's look and see what we have. So the first card we have is the little pig, which is affluence, fortune, and intelligence. You know what? Everybody thinks that pigs are terrible animals, but they are so smart. They are so intelligent, and they're a lot better than we give them credit for, aren't they? So we have intelligence, we have affluence, fortune, and intelligence, and our second one that we have is the kangaroo, family, direction, and energy. So actually, I wonder if I can leave them there. I'm going to cut the heads off a little bit, tops of the cards, a little bit. So I think they can live there. Then we've got enough space here to play with the Meraki Tarot. So friends, let's talk about the pig and the kangaroo. Let's talk about the affluence, the fortune, the intelligence, the family, the direction, and the energy. What I'm getting from that is that this weekend, and as we run up to the festive season, as we run up to Christmas, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, it is a time, end of the year is a time for gathering of families. It is a time for coming together and connecting with your loved ones. And to me, that is fortune. To me, that is affluence. Because if you've got family in your life, you've got everything, isn't it? Isn't it? And if you have a family, a loving, caring, beautiful family, then you are rich. And it doesn't matter the quantity of people in your family. Your family can be one. One is enough. One is enough. As long as that connection with that person is a good, solid, strong, beautiful, honest, loving, unconditional connection. And that's all we need. That's all we need. So the focus for this weekend is on recognizing, oopsie, the cards are not going together. The focus for this weekend is recognizing the richness that you have in your family. So if you can't spend time with your family, if you are worlds apart, if you are countries apart, if you are separated by physical distance, how about a good phone call? How about a little video message? How about something? But we can even just reminisce through photo albums, and that's a good way to connect even with your deceased loved ones. So the focus for this weekend is on recognizing the richness that you have with your family. Now, I do want to, at this point, just bring in what happens if you don't have a loving, caring, unconditional love kind of family. What happens if you've got a disconnected family, a troublesome family, a family that doesn't communicate or doesn't talk or doesn't interact? Well, I can promise you that you will have somebody in your life, even if it is just one person, you will have somebody in your life who you consider to be your family. Family doesn't always have to be blood. Family doesn't always have to be the DNA. Family can sometimes be just the people you consider to be your family. So this weekend, the urge for you, the focus for us is on family. And again, it doesn't have to be your blood family. Right, I think this deck is really and truly well shuffled. Let's lay out some cards from the Meraki Tarot. So the first one we have is the Three of Swords. So yeah, we understand. This is why I had to bring in the fact that, you might not have a good family. We have the Eight of Wands. I'm going to see how many I can fit in. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Death card, the dreaded Death card. And one more we have is the Lovers. All right. Oh, these cards are gorgeous. So now that we have all of these here, let's just even them out a little bit, straighten them up a little bit, and let's have a look and see what story is unfolding. So we're starting off with heartache. We're starting off with heartbreak. So this is why we need to understand if family is our theme. Families are not always easy. Families are not always simple. You may have a beautiful, loving, unconditional family, or you may have a family where it's a little bit difficult, a little bit strained, a little bit complicated, right? A little bit complicated. Three of Swords is acknowledging the pain that we have from our family. So whether that is something you're experiencing right now, or whether that is something you've experienced in the past and are possibly carrying it still with you, this is about acknowledging the pain that you are experiencing in your life right now. The Eight of Wands is telling you to understand that time heals all. Okay, as with these umbrellas, they're sort of flying through the air. They are, and what are umbrellas? Umbrellas are a source of protection from the rain, a protection from the sun, a protection from the elements. So the Eight of Wands is basically saying to you to understand that time heals, because as they are flying through the air, there is nothing that we can do except for wait for the storm to end and for them to land. And only once they've landed, only then will we truly understand where we are, what we're dealing with. So it's basically saying wait it out. Time will heal all. Then we have the Ace of Swords. I'm just rushing through them quite quickly and then I'll put the story together. The Ace of Swords is about new ways of thinking, new ideas and new strategies and new concepts, right? And then we have the dreaded Death card. Okay, see, she with a smile on her face. The dreaded Death card. You know, we are as human beings always so afraid of death. We're always so scared of somebody dying, of ourselves dying, of death, generally speaking. But the reality of the situation is we experience death on a daily basis. We really do. To give you a really, really bad example, but a good example, if you make yourself your morning cup of coffee, you have a morning cup of coffee and it is a great cup of coffee and you're excited about your cup of coffee. And while you're drinking your cup of coffee, you are really and truly enjoying it. But when you take that last sip, when you take that last sip and your cup of coffee is now complete and it is finished, guess what? Your cup of coffee has died. It is no longer a cup of coffee. It is no longer in existence. But the coffee still exists inside of your body, right? So all it's done is changed its shape and its form and its consistency and its everything. And now it's become a cup of comfort. It's gone from, a cup of comfort into sustenance and fuel and whatever else for your body. So that cup of coffee still exists, but just in a different shape and form. So that's death. Death is just transformation from one state or being into another. So we experience death every single day, many times a day, but we don't see it as death. It's only when the human ceases to exist that we get all panicky. Even when our animals cease to exist, we get all panicky and fearful. But they never cease to exist. Their physical flesh ceases, but their soul lives on. So what is the Death card saying to us today? For this weekend, it's basically saying to us that we can look forward to and we can expect major change and transformation in this particular situation. And to me, I don't see that as a bad thing. I really don't. It depends on what your family situation is. Because if your family situation is absolutely perfect, and I doubt that that is the case, because who has an absolutely perfect family? So change to a dynamic, change to a situation and a circumstance can't be bad. And then we finish off with the Lovers card, which is about union, which is about connection, which is about coming together, two individuals coming together. So again, how is that bad? It's not. So, friends, let's go right through the story. We start with heartache and heartbreak. We end with togetherness. The road to get us from heartache to togetherness is understanding that time heals all wounds, that we need to start thinking and shifting differently. We need to start perceiving and understanding and comprehending situations differently. But we also need to understand that everybody has to change. Change the way you react, change the way you respond, change the way you engage in this relationship, in this family dynamic. And if you can do that, happiness is yours. Let's go back here. Let's go back to our little piggy pig. Affluence. What is affluence? We often talk about people at a higher status than ourselves as being affluent. So anybody who we perceive as having more than us, we consider to be affluent. So you'll often hear people who have a lot, referring to the elite as affluent. But you will find those that have very little referring to the average person as affluent. So it is a perception thing. The next keyword we have is fortune. And again, isn't that something that is just so different for each one of us? So what I consider to be a massive fortune and what you consider to be a massive fortune may differ by a couple of million. So, we need to understand that all of these, even intelligence, it's not, there isn't a science ruler, measurer kind of situation around it. And this is what we need to understand is our families. Our families are, how do we know what a perfect family is? So there isn't a rule. There isn't a scientific method to measure. It is what makes us happy. It is what's in our soul. Okay? It is what's in our hearts. So our pig is telling us to put things into perspective, to be honest with ourselves as to what it is that we need and how we are measuring it. Because I am going to say to you, when it comes to your family, if your expectations are here, but the reality of your family is here, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be heartbroken. You're going to be sad. So it is about just bringing things into perspective. And that's why we have the Ace of Swords telling us think about it differently, look at it differently, understand and comprehend it differently, which will give you the fuel that you need to change your reaction, to change your response, to change your outlook. And then we can come together as beautiful beings and just to celebrate family, direction, and energy. So the kangaroo is telling us, that just like the mama kangaroo, she's carrying baby in her pouch. Mama kangaroo gets on with her day. All right, she gets on and does the things that she needs to do, knowing that her baby is safe, knowing that she's taking care of her little Joey, knowing that she's doing the best that she can to provide for her baby. But the mama kangaroo does what the mama kangaroo does. Okay. Doesn't mean that we have to be like that, but it is understanding that we don't always have to only focus on our family. We need to always take care of them, but we also need to take care of the self first. So back to our story that we have over here. The Three of Swords is the card of pain, disappointment, heartache, loss, suffering, all of those kind of sad, negative emotions. And if you've got a real family, you're experiencing this from time to time because it's family. It's how, no one's family is always happy. No one's family is always perfect. So if you have a family, a real family, a true family, you will have experienced heartache. It's how we respond and react to that determines whether we get to the happiness part. So family is about pain. Family is about suffering. Time heals all wounds. Okay, so if there has been a spat in the family, give it time. Don't always try and fix it. Don't always try and mend it. Let it sit, let it rest, let everybody sort of get over it. Okay, let everybody process it in their own terms. Time will heal, but understand that there is constant flow, there is constant movement, there is constant growth in a family, right? Constant. Just need to look at it and think about it and contemplate it in a slightly different way. But we need to understand that family is growth, family is change, family is transformation. If you think about it, every time if you've got a person in a family who is single and suddenly they meet a new person and they bring a new individual into the family, the dynamic of that family shifts massively. The dynamic of that family from being happy and cohesive could suddenly become uncomfortable. From being uncomfortable could suddenly become happy and cohesive. One change, one adjustment can have a huge positive and or negative effect on a family. Just as a couple within a family dynamic having a baby, it changes everything. Everything. So we mustn't be afraid of change. We mustn't be afraid of this. We need to embrace it. And then with the Lovers card, it is about the coming together. It is about the coming together and recognizing we're different, we're individuals, but when we are together, we are better. We are better together. So, friends, I think our messages from the pig and the kangaroo, our messages from the Meraki Tarot, I definitely think it's an important one. I do want to just say that on Monday here in South Africa, it is the Day of Reconciliation. Now, I'm not going to go into the history of the Day of Reconciliation. You can Google that if you want to. But I want to talk about reconciliation because isn't that what this message is? Isn't that exactly what we're saying here? And I didn't intend that. I didn't want the message to go that way. It is what it is. The fact that I'm including the 16th of December, and from here I see heartache, I see togetherness, I see the process to get from there to there, the reconciliation. So, friends, I wish you the most amazing weekend. I am sending you all much love and many blessings for happy families this weekend and in the weeks coming up as we go through the festive season. I am sending you all much love and many blessings, as always, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again on Tuesday, take care.